So in today's video, we're gonna put the Action 4 up against the GoPro Hero 11, and this is gonna be my in-depth, honest comparison between these two. DJI sent me the Action 4 a couple of weeks ago, but I'm not obligated to say anything good about it. This is not a paid sponsored video, so it's gonna be my completely honest review of the Action 4. So here we have an audio test with the Action 4 and the GoPro 11. Which do you think sound better? Is it the GoPro 11 or is it the Osmo Action 4? Both of these cameras have no microphone attached. This is the raw audio coming directly from these two cameras. So here we have an audio test with the Action 4 and the GoPro 11. Which do you think sound better? Is it the GoPro 11 or is it the Osmo Action 4? Both of these cameras have no microphone attached. This is the raw audio coming directly from these two cameras. Now, as of the audio comparison between these two cameras, the Action 4 sounds a little bit better and more crisp to my ears. Now, the GoPro 11 still has that hint of bubble sound to it. Even though it still sounds good, I would give the point to the Action 4. Now, as of stabilization, both of the cameras looks good to me. There's not much difference there. However, I do see a little bit more shake in the horizon with the GoPro 11, but nothing major. And both of the cameras have horizon level as well, so if you really want to keep that horizon level, you can swap over to horizon level at 5.3K on the GoPro and 4K on the Action 4. Now, both of the cameras also have the horizon lock, but with the Action 4, you will need to drop down to 2.7K resolution, whilst the GoPro can still shoot in 5.3K. Now, doing a little bit of slow motion here, this is 240 FPS slow motion, 2.7K on the GoPro and 1080p on the Action 4. And looking at the quality comparison here, can you guys spot the resolution difference between 2.7K and 1080p? If you're watching this on a phone, it might be hard to spot the difference. Now, I see a bit more clarity with the GoPro 11, as well as more details in the shadows, and the water looks more appealing. Now, crisp quality with smooth slow motion is also another big area to consider when you're looking for an action camera. But as for 4K 120, there's no significant difference, with both cameras set to auto and the normal color profile on the Osmo Action 4 and the natural on the GoPro. To me, the Osmo Action 4 has a more natural look to it compared to the GoPro, which still looks a bit oversaturated at times. I also think the Action 4 has a faster correction of white balance, especially when going from below water to above water. But since I only shoot at 120 FPS for slow motion, which both of the cameras can do in 4K, I would give my point to the Action 4 because of the more natural look and the seamless transition going from below to above water. Now, regardless of which of these two you pick up, whether you decide to go for the GoPro or the DJI Action 4, you should always add some awesome music to your videos so you can highlight your trips and hikes and everything you want to show with this camera. My choice has always been Epidemic Sound because they have every single thing that I'm looking for: music, sound effects, and they even have an up-to-date website with brand new features like sync music to video, which helps me find suitable tracks for my scenes. And after they added this to the website, it has basically become my go-to feature when I'm out traveling or when I just need something immediately. So I recommend that you try this out for yourself for 30 days free of charge with no strings attached. With my link in the description below, sign up today and see what I mean about this being one awesome feature. Now, let's get back to the Action 4 and the GoPro 11. Now, let's talk about low light. Using an action camera in low light has become more and more popular, and I always get the question, which action camera is the best for low light shooting, or how is that camera for low light shooting? Now, the Action 4 has a brand new CMOS sensor, 1/1.3 inch, compared to the GoPro 11's 1/1.9 inch. This is going to give the Action 4 a huge advantage when shooting in low light, and the result is a much better low light image. So inside the settings menu, you have this low light light image enhancement feature, and when you put this to auto, the camera will automatically optimize and add noise reduction to the image when you go from a bright scene to a scene with less light. And if we take a look at the noise difference here between the Action 4 and the GoPro Hero 11, you can see there is a huge difference. The Action 4 is the clear winner when it comes to low light performance. And to be honest, I've actually never seen any action camera perform this good in low light. It's just crazy how good this is, and it actually makes me want to go out and shoot more videos in low lights. Now let's move over to quality. Let's take a look at the quality differences between these two cameras. Now, where the Action 4 kills it in low light, the GoPro still has that higher resolution. And as with these slow motion clips, if you watch this on your phone, you might not be able to spot the differences in quality, but if you watch this on a bigger screen, then maybe. The Action 4 has now 3 different sharpening options from low, medium to high, just like we see with the GoPro 11, but the Action 4 also have 3 different levels of noise reduction. So are you guys able to spot the differences between these two cameras? I'm curious to know which type of device you're watching on. Let me know down in the comments below. Now, as for the field of view from these two cameras, the Osmo Action is still the widest at 155-degree field of view, and the GoPro is just short of that with 151. Now, how much of a difference there is in a real-life scenario is hard to tell. It also depends on the use, but if you want those extra 4 degrees on the GoPro, you're looking at another $100 for the GoPro Max lens. Now, when it comes to the color profiles and the color science between these two cameras, there's always that question, which looks better? Now, this rather comes down to personal preferences and what you like, but I want to know which of the two colors you prefer. Personally, I think the Action 4 looks more natural to how it actually looks in real life, and the GoPro has more of that candy touch to it with a more saturated color, which I quite like for water sports like snorkeling, paddling, and diving. So let me know which of these two colors you prefer down below. Now, snapping a few photos, both of the cameras are doing a really good job. The max resolution is a bit higher on the GoPro, but can you actually spot the difference? The Action 4 can take photos in 4:3 as well as 16:9. The GoPro still doesn't allow me to take 16:9 photos, only 4:3, which is a bummer. Now, when it comes to mounting system, I'm a huge fan of the magnetic system from DJI. It's way faster and much easier to change the camera from one mount to the next. And changing it from a horizontal to a vertical shooting position is just as fast. And when I'm out riding my bike, it's just insane how fast and convenient this magnetic system is. So I first have it on my helmet, and if I want to change it up and let the viewers see me instead of just seeing the bike, I can just take it off and then click it back into place on my handlebar, and I have 2 different angles within a few seconds. It's just insane how much more convenient this is compared to the GoPro, where you actually have to mount the camera and then you have to screw, and it just takes forever. It's just a pain. Now, as for a quick battery comparison of about an hour, neither the GoPro or the Osmo Action had any overheating issues at max resolution. Now, after recording for 1 hour, the GoPro had about 22% battery life left, and the Osmo Action had 38%. And if we go back to the low light capabilities of the Action 4, it's actually quite obvious right here when we take a look at the battery comparison test. The new updated 1/1.3-inch CMOS sensor and the auto noise reduction really makes me want to shoot more videos in the evening. Now, moving over to the screen and the user interface here of the Action 4 is basically the same as the Action 3. We have a fully functional touchscreen on the front as well as the back, but with the GoPro you don't have that. You only have the front-facing screen, but if you want to change the settings, you would need to do that on the big screen on the back. And as for ease of use, the Action 4 just feels more direct than the GoPro. It's easier to navigate and get to the settings you want to change, whilst on the GoPro it feels like you're constantly going through unnecessary settings just to get to the one you want to change. And overall, it's less responsive and feels more clunky compared to the Action 4. I often get asked which of these cameras are the best for low light scenarios, and a typical question is how are these cameras to be used in a studio. So here we have the Osmo Action 4, which records in 4K at 30 FPS with auto settings, and this also has the normal color profile. And here is the GoPro Hero 11, which has auto settings and the natural color profile. Now, which of these looks better is completely up to you to decide, but this is what you're gonna get if you decide decide to get any of these as your studio camera. Now, which of these cameras you should go out and get is going to be completely up to you, but I would put my vote on the Osmo Action 4 because it has that better sensor. Now, if you buy either of these two cameras, you won't go wrong. Both of them pack some amazing features, but the Action 4, however, has that low light capabilities with the better sensor and auto low light enhancement. So if you're shooting a lot of videos in low light scenarios, the Action 4 might just be the right camera for you. Now, I want to know your thoughts on the brand new Action 4 versus the GoPro, which would be your favorite of the two. And whichever you decide for, don't forget to grab some accessories. I will leave my favorite accessories, which I've been using for years, down in the description below. And with that said, don't forget to smash that like button if you found any value in today's video, and also don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done that already. And I will catch you guys in the next video.